Hello and welcome to my thoughts on the Phil Lord and Chris Miller situation. They've been fired from the Han Solo film, and the main reason that they said was because of creative differences, which is complete bullshit. It's it's more to it than that. You can't have only figured out that you have creative differences 5 months into shooting the movie. The script's been written. You've been filming the film for 5 months. You're 3 weeks away from finishing. You can't have just found out that you have creative differences. It's complete bullshit. And it's a shame. When they announced this film, I was like, who cares? I don't want to see this film. Can we have a Lando standalone film instead? I would have loved that. I still would prefer that. Now that Phil Lord and Chris Miller are out, can we just, get a Lando standalone film instead? But anyway, when they were brought on, I got excited. I was like, okay, I love their films. Lego Movie is one of my favourite films. And they would have injected their kind of unique style into it, and it would have made the film feel a little more different and not safe and kind of very similar to every other Star Wars film. And so I was excited. I still wasn't incredibly keen on the film. I still don't want it to be made, but I was like, sure, they've got good talent. And now that they've been fired, I don't care about this film. Because it just kind of goes to show that directors aren't the people that make the films anymore. The studios make the films. It used to be, the studios gave the directors money and the directors could, they could make what they wanted. But now it seems that the studios bring these directors on knowing that they will be able to control them, and if they can't control them, then they fire them. And it's something that really sucks. And this seems to be an example of that. Possibly. We don't technically know, but I'm assuming that Disney didn't like the direction they were taking the film, and so they got rid of them. It's a shame that directors aren't the people who make the films anymore. It's sad. There are instances where they still, Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, Martin Scorsese and stuff like that. There are still these directors, not indie directors make the films that they want to make, but big studio films. It kind of sucks that the directors can't really make what they want anymore. And it's strange that it seems to be the anthology films that are doing it, because as Rian Johnson said, he said that he's had as much creative control on this film as he had on any of his other films. And I believe that, just from the direction he's taking the film in, just from the direction he's taking Luke Skywalker in. Mark Hamill hates the decision that Rian Johnson made, and hates the direction the character's going in, which means Rian Johnson's taking risks. He's not playing it safe, and they've allowed him to do this, so why has he got away with it, and they aren't? Unless, unless it's because of the anthology films, they don't really know what they want to do with them. They're like, should we play it safe, or should we do something different? I don't think they understand what they're doing, to be honest. I don't think they know what the fuck to do. They're kind of just like, what the fuck are we doing? I don't know, what are we doing? Or it's just Lawrence Kasdan pissed off with them because they're taking his character in a different way. I don't know. Because Rogue One had some issues with the reshoots and everything, and even though I liked Rogue One, I would have preferred Gareth Edwards' third act, but it's a shame we'll never see it. And with this now, it makes me worried for the future of the anthology films. Not necessarily the future of the new saga, because that seems to be going quite well. I'm a little bit worried about Episode 9 with Colin Trevorrow directing, but aside from that, but the anthology films at the moment are worrying. It's interesting. I'll be interested to see what their next anthology film is. If it's a Boba Fett movie or Obi-Wan movie, I'll be even more worried. The thing with the anthology films is I feel like they should be films that distance themselves in either style or characters or story or era. That they maybe go back to the Old Republic era or even further back. Deal with characters like Darth Revan or Darth Bane and make the film a lot more darker and less child-friendly. Make stuff that's a bit more kind of disturbing, like the Darth Maul comic has some really disturbing images in it, and stuff that we haven't seen in the films before, like the comics and the books. They really go in a more darker and adult direction. Like, a lot of the books, Tarkin is not child-friendly at all. It has some really great stuff in it that I would love to see in a Star Wars film. Lost Stars is a bit more kind of young adult themed. So the books and comic books are very different and taking chances, and the films just don't seem to be doing that, and I feel like they should. This is what the anthology should be. They should be films that take chances, that expand the Star Wars universe and make it feel different. Even though I love the Star Wars universe and the franchise and everything, it's my favorite franchise and favorite universe. In terms of the films themselves, we haven't had a film yet that feels different, that kind of expands the world. We've only really been in the prequel era and the era we're in now. We haven't gone to the Old Republic, we haven't gone any further back. There's this massive Star Wars universe, and we're only exploring a little tiny bit of it. We have all this stuff to explore. Why aren't they doing it? They're just not thinking. They're just trying to play it safe to make the most money possible, I think. And I think compared to a lot of the other franchises going on, I think they're doing a better job. It's just, I hope they eventually expand outwards to other eras, make films in different styles, make the films feel different, darker, any style you want. Just make something different. I don't want them to go in the Marvel route where every fucking movie feels exactly the fucking same. I don't want them to do that. At the moment, I feel that they haven't reached that point yet. I think if they keep making standalone films that are, you know, Obi-Wan movies, like characters we've already seen before, that's when I'll get a little bit nervous. That's when I go, oh, fuck. I mean, to be fair, you can make an Obi-Wan movie in a very different style. It'll be interesting, but it depends how the Han Solo movie turns out. If they fire directors because they're doing their own style, then what are we going to get? We're going to get an Obi-Wan film that feels like every other Star Wars movie ever. And I'm not necessarily against that, but I want them to do something different. To, like, give fans something different and unique. And, you know, a theatrical version of some of the stuff we've seen in the comics and books. This more darker side of Star Wars. This more brutal, disturbing side of Star Wars. These more really amazing storylines. I really hope they start to do that instead of, oh, we're going to do a Yoda movie, we're going to do a fucking Mace Windu film. I don't want that shit. I don't mind if you go to the prequel era and then focus on a character we haven't seen, like Cad Bane or something. Or a character we didn't see too much of. I wouldn't mind that. Like, even a Darth Maul movie, I wouldn't mind, because really, Darth Maul, all we've seen in the original films was him in the prequels, and I don't like him in the prequels. I love his character in the comics and books and the TV shows. I would love to see, like, a movie version of the Darth Maul comic that's just come out. That'd be amazing. I'd love to see that. Or something like that. Just something that's different. Yeah. So this news isn't great. It has got me worried for the future of the anthology films. Not necessarily the saga, because I'm quite confident with those, especially the fact that Rian Johnson seems to have creative control over what he wants to do. But I am worried about these films. I'm worried about the Han Solo film. I wasn't looking forward to it that much anyway, and the only reason that I was because of the directors, and now they're gone. And apparently Ron Howard's going to take over, which completely sucks. I wouldn't mind if they got, like, that would be great if they got Spielberg or something to finish the movie. Not Ron Howard. Come on, just get someone that's great. I can't really think at the moment. Spielberg would be a really nice choice. Because he doesn't have to do the entire movie, he just has to, you know, finish it. So yeah, it's a shame. It's a shock when I first heard it. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep. Went on YouTube, saw videos talking about it. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was not expecting this at all. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And it's worrying. Yeah, okay. I guess we'll have to wait until D23 to see some more news. Yeah. That's my overall thoughts on this kind of terrible news. I would love to hear your thoughts on the news. You never know. They could have made the film completely shit. Like, the movie could have been terrible, and that's why they were fired. You don't know. So this could have been a good decision, but I just don't see it that way at the moment. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this news. What do you think about, you know, the future of the anthology films and stuff like that? So thank you guys for watching, and may the Force be with you.